Enough is enough with Frankie Montas. Can the Mets move on from this guy? My goodness. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown. Happy Monday, everybody. Not a very happy weekend for the Mets, who lost 2 out of 3 to the San Francisco Giants, but hope you're in good hands. Happy, healthy, and joining us here on this Monday, August 4th, 2025. Smash that thumbs up on the video. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for getting us over 2,000 subscribers over the last week, getting us over that mark. Keep on subscribing and become a Mets Daily Insider for bonus weekend video, giveaways, exclusive watch party each week. Just $5 a month. Helps me out, helps the channel. Scan that and join us as an insider for $5 a month. Well, I was in Carolinas over the weekend, but still locked in to the boys, unfortunately, because it's games you didn't want to see. Now, Saturday was great. Saturday you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is awesome. I'll enjoy this. 12 runs, home runs, Alonso 2 away from tying Darryl Strawberry. Everything's good and grand. The whole lineup contributed. And then Sunday they send us back down to earth. And I think we all can agree this lineup's got to perform more consistently and better. And Eric Chavez has got to stop challenging people in his Instagram DMs. He's lost his damn mind. This is a hitting coach that probably should have been fired after the Pirates series. I talked about it. I was shocked they didn't do it then. They had a day off. They got swept by the Pirates. They made no change. Chavez is belittling people and battling people in his Instagram DMs. His Instagram is private. People who follow him, they're coming as DMs, and now he's responding. People saying he should be fired. He's like, yeah, I should be. Fire me then. And it's gotten out of control with this guy. On the off day or after they won in San Francisco, he's having margaritas at 9 a.m. wherever he was at some place. I mean, listen, he can live his life, but now that he's attacking people and coming after people's DMs, it's gotten out of control for an offense that has been incredibly underachieving, that has been terrible with running scoring position, that approach isn't there. It comes down to the players executing, but it also comes down to, hey, when we're not, can a coach make any kind of adjustment? And he hasn't. But the main story today is this: Frankie Montas. And I know it's only been 7 starts, and it might be too short of a leash, but you have 50 games remaining. There is no time to play around with this guy anymore. Just accept the fact that you've messed up. You fucked up. Frankie Montas should have never gotten a 2-year, $34 million deal. David Stearns gave it to him. It was a mistake. His second year's a player option. He's going to join Jed Lowry in the Mets Hall of Shame. It'll be Jed Lowry. It'll be Frankie Montas. Jason Bay might make an appearance. Bobby Bonilla is going to pay for it through the money that he's getting paid, and it'll be a big party at Citi Field. But Frankie Montas cannot be here, and if he is here, he needs to be relegated to mop-up duty as a reliever. He can't be a starting pitcher right now for a team that's trying to win a division that is half game out, as the Phillies beat the Tigers Sunday night to take that division lead back from the Mets. And, I understand it's only been 7 starts, and he had a couple of good ones, but Montas is not good, period. The Mets got to realize, hey, we didn't make a move at the trade deadline, which I thought was a massive mistake, but to David Stearns', credit, nobody was moving in terms of starting pitching. The only ones that left were Chris Paddock, Charlie Morton, Merrill Kelly, and Shane Bieber, who was coming off an injury. Otherwise, Sandy, the price was too high. Edward Cabrera, too high. Joe Ryan, too high. Dylan Cease didn't even go. Zach Gallen didn't go. Mackenzie Gore didn't go. Mitch Keller didn't go. Luis Severino didn't go. And Seth Lugo had his contract extension. So in terms of starters that moved, there weren't many. So I'll give him that. But if that's going to be the case, you can't keep trotting Frankie Montas out there. And there's no better time than now to do it. Carlos Mendoza said he needs to be better. He knows he needs to be better. Well, you could be better as a mop-up reliever. It's time to make the shift. Look at those numbers. 7 starts, a 6.68 ERA, gives up 7 runs on Sunday, and they're out of the game. And Austin Warren was a savior, going 4 of shutout ball. I'd almost rather Austin Warren be, go with an opener for an inning or two and then go to Austin Warren than keep trotting out Montas. But the answer is this, and while it may not work, it's certainly worth a try. It's time for Nolan McLean and Brandon Sproat to get their chance. These are the 2 prospects that you've touted, that you didn't trade. They're top 5 pitching prospects in your organization, and they're both pitching fantastic. Brandon Sproat, last 6 starts, .55 ERA. Nolan McLean has been consistently good all year with a 2.6 ERA. Both of them I get it. August 15th, you could go up until then without losing a year in control. August 15th would be 2 more turns through this rotation. You can't wait that long. Every game is big, and the schedule, which we'll get into, is not easy. Now is the time to give at least one of these guys a shot. And I know the days don't perfectly line up. Sproat is due to go by tomorrow. I don't care. If it's got to be a couple days off, so be it. Put one of them in the pen, have one of them in the rotation, maybe piggyback them, have one of them piggyback Clay Holmes, who, by the way, has pitched more innings than he ever has in a year this year. So at some point, he's going to shut down. You foresaw this to be an issue. I don't want to see Paul Blackburn. And I fear that the next Montas go-around, they might just say, Paul Blackburn is ready. And Mets fans will lose their mind, and I will pull my non-existent hair out. So give us what we want and give us what makes the most sense. Sproat and McClain have proven themselves at the AAA level. Why do they continue to get looked over? This is not the Wilpons. This is not the cheap coupons anymore. Stop worrying about the year of control. If these guys are dynamic pitchers, you can afford that extra year if they end up being great. I don't want to hear we're waiting until August 15th. And guess what? They're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, no, we like our guys in turn. They'll say everything until they're blue in the face that it's not about contract. But if they're not up pitching over the weekend in Milwaukee, starting over Montas, you know what it's about. It's about that extra year of control. And I don't want Stearns managing, the roster in the way that he would Milwaukee in terms of a year of control. And I get it. The best answer long-term for the team is to do that. But there's a sense of urgency that needs to be shown right now. You're not seeing it in the Bronx. You're seeing zero accountability there with Aaron Boone. You're seeing all sorts of mental mistakes there. Don't let that come to Queens, too, because fans don't want to tolerate it. We saw a team that was the best team in baseball. Get these kids up here and give them a shot. And if they implode, fine. At least you tried it. But stop trying Montas. Don't feed us Blackburn. Stop feeding us bullpen games. You went a whole month punting those games already. Now it's the stretch run. It's go time. It's time to show that you care. It's time to show that these kids who've earned a shot in Sproat and McClain get it. And whether it's one of them, both, there has to be at least one here by the weekend against Milwaukee. And that tough schedule we talked about starts tonight. The Guardians are in the thick of the race here. The Guardians are just 3 games back in the wild card. They've played better lately after that bad slide they were in. They're 56 and 55. And that's the start of what is an absolute gauntlet for this team. And when I say every game counts right here. We saw it come down to the game day after the season last year, guys. Now's the time. It's Mania tonight. God forbid, can he get it through the 6? Can they let him go 6? Mets starting pitchers are averaging 4.5 innings. They're not even getting through 5. Outside of David Peterson, no one is getting through 6. And that has to change because you can't go to Ryan Stanek anymore in the 5th or 6th inning. You want to talk about another change that needs to be made? I like Ryan Stanek. I think it's time for him to go. He has been unwatchable this season. I don't care that he throws 101 miles an hour. He threw up a meatball yesterday, and a 7-2 game became 12-2, and the game was over. And the Mets put up 2 runs, and they pinch it with Tyrone Taylor for Brandon Nimmo. Stop with the punts. This isn't 4th down. Carlos Mendoza managing like it's 4th down and it's time to punt. It can't happen. That starts on the top. David Stearns has got to make the move. They got to get one of the kids here. And I get Stanek trying to get rid of him is going to be tough because he is a veteran. You'd rather keep him when he's on. He is good. But the guy's got a 5 ERA. And I know it inflated from this outing Sunday, but his stuff doesn't look good. You went out and got relievers. You improved. You can't keep going to Stanek. He's just not reliable. So if I'm the Mets, I say sayonara to Stanek and Montas and just pay off Montas. Is he really going to be a mop-up reliever? Is he going to be effective? No. Maybe it's an 8-0 game, sure. But how many of those do you have? Because there's not many blowouts the Mets are having. So like I said, the schedule, Cleveland, tough. Over 500 coming up for the Mets. Then you go to Milwaukee, face one of the best teams in baseball. Then you get Atlanta, which is never easy. Then you have Seattle, who's playing great and had a great deadline. Then the Nationals and Braves. Then the Phillies for 3. The Marlins for 4, who, by the way, are 500, so they're in this category. You go to Detroit for 3, who's a World Series contender. Cincinnati for 3, who's a playoff contender. Philly for 4, that you're trying to win the division against, fighting neck and neck. The Rangers for 3, who have been good. The Padres, who maybe had the best deadline. Then the Nationals, and then at Chicago and at Miami to end the season. That is a haunted schedule for the Mets. And if they can't even take care of San Francisco, who are sellers at the deadline, these are all going to be tough games. And you want your best out there. And you don't want to punt. So make the moves. You're watching Mets Daily. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live, at Mets Daily Show on Twitter. Smash that thumbs up on the video. Click that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. No more trade deadline talk, no more rumors, but we're going to talk roster spots. We're going to talk what needs to be done, and these are the moves that need to be done. Thank you for watching. Take care of the Guardians. If you're going to Citi Field, enjoy, and we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on Mets Daily.